Okay, I've done a little different kind of a fire here. I've done like starting a log cabin lay. Only the next layer up I've rotated 45 degrees. So it makes kind of a, I think it'll give more surface close to the middle of the fire to start. So, and then on the very bottom I put a layer of smaller split stuff. And then I put in some layers of the smaller pieces here. The theory is that because I've got these pointed edges of the split stuff closer, because I'm not square, I've tilted it. These front edges that are split here will be closer to the heat and the flame, and those edges right there will catch a fire quicker than just a square flat edge. It's probably ridiculous, but I'm just doing it because that's what I do. I'm always experimenting. I can't help myself. Well, that's taken off pretty nicely. I'm not sure if I'm going to actually cook over the fire or use my Coleman stove. I'm really excited to hike out to where I'm planning to go here. Alright, I decided I'm going to add another layer here. What the heck? That was sort of a bonfire after sorts here. There we go. Something like that right there. So now what we've got, I mean, I know it's kind of like a log cabin fire, but I think diagonal like that actually should greatly enhance the burn. Alright, I'm going to set up my cook table here. It's an Alps mountaineering dining table. I really love this thing. I've seen some smaller ones. This is nice for probably a little overkill for one person, but it's nice. So I just fold the legs down like that. There's my platform done. Then I just pull out the tabletop and just lays on like this. It's got a set of clips on each end. Just pull that up and clip it in place. And there we go. Now we're good. I'll probably level it slightly here. Now I got plenty of space right here by the fire. I can do my cook stove if I want or whatever. That fire's going, man. Okay, I've turned my phone on to level here. This is just eyeballing. Look at that. Am I good or what? Let's check this way. Oh man, I'm awesome. I'm a stinking built-in level. That's all I got to say about that. Got my propane tank out. And it's got a little rubber O-ring on here. A lot of times when it's been sitting in the cold, I breathe on it a little bit. I don't know if that really helps or not. Psychologically, in my mind, it helps. I don't know if it actually helps or not. Now, you might be concerned that I'm close to the fire with my propane bottle. But I'm just going to let that... Oh yeah, there we go. Just going to let it sit there for a moment and the bottle warm up a little. Then I'll put it back under here. Well, I like having the fire right here close to the cook table. It's easy to step over and warm your hands a little. Well, last week, it was about the same temperature last week, and I brought my 7-gallon water container. It's just a single wall container. It froze solid clear to the middle. And I put it in this igloo cooler this time, and I had to pry. You can see there's froth. It was frozen shut. I had to bust the lid loose. But the water down inside of here is not frozen. So it's got a little bit of ice in there. Whoops. Like this. While I'm at it, I think I'm just gonna just fill that thing up. And I'm gonna put this on the stove and I just heat that whole thing up. And then I'll use what I need to use, and anything I got left over, if I want, I can just dump back in here. I've tried different brands. Bic is the best value I've found. It lights all the time. I've never had it fail. I carry it in my pocket. Carry it right here in my pants pocket, not down here in a patch pocket, but right up here in a pants pocket where it's right against my leg. Keeps it warm all the time. It's always ready to go. Of course, all I need is a spark for this, but that's how I lit my fire this morning. All right, there we go. Got my chair sitting right here. Now this chair, we had, our daughter bought a set of these chairs last year from Walmart. And you see, it's for big people. I'm only 5'10". My feet don't even touch the ground. So it's tall, and it's also wide. I actually like it because you're not like down in something like this. So it's big. The other thing I like is that the seat part and the back actually have insulation in them, which is good because even in the summertime, a lot of places I'm camping, you know, at nighttime it gets in the 40s or 30s. That's not uncommon. And so this feels so much better to have a little insulation on my back and underneath me. Now today I got the sun right there, bing, radiant energy warming me. Got the fire right here, so I'm right here inside this 90-degree thing right here. And my back is insulated, my butt's insulated. And actually, another trick is, if you don't have a big stonework built up where your chair is facing the fire, the radiant energy from the fire, because your butt's sitting in here, it pushes down. So that exposes the bottom part of this to radiant energy from the fire. So actually you can warm up the under part of your chair with your fire as well. So I'm being warmed underneath from here all the way around to here, insulated on the back. It's pretty good, man. The only thing is I can't just get out of here because my feet don't touch the ground. So I have to swing myself out of here. I'm gonna have to get like platform shoes or something. Man, I'm telling you, I love it out here. This is so awesome. I really can't describe how much I love being out here. I mean, even in the wintertime with snow, we got kind of a partly cloudy sky here. Sun's out right now. Getting my stove going, getting ready for some breakfast. Got my fire going. My chair sitting in the sun. And I forgot my stinking sourdough bread. So this is how I didn't quite have a full spoon there. So I need a little extra. I'm gonna have to get me another bottle here. So I do like 3 rounded spoons full to a thermo flask, which I think is about 24 ounces. So I had one of these Stanley 2-cup cook sets in the past, but I don't know if I borrowed it to somebody or whatever happened. But it's got 2 of these cups inside of it, which I don't know if I'll keep those or not. But. So my greatest compliment ever on Fever. I'm sitting beside the stage. That is pretty hot. Of course it is. It's boiling. What do you expect? There we go. So I just do that. Then I put the lid on. Then I shake it pretty good. Okay, then normally I use honey, but my honey right now is hard as a rock in there. Froze. Well, technically it doesn't freeze, but in reality, when you can't get it out, it might as well be frozen. So I take, if I'm using sugar, I take 2 heaping spoonfuls. Now you might want to know why I have 4 pounds of sugar in my camp kit. Because it's still in there from last fall when we were out camping picking berries and stuff and making syrup. So I don't know if I've even put it up yet now that I think about it. Made a video where I made fresh choke cherry pancake syrup picked right fresh from the berries. Okay, so that right there gets me my Postum and my sweetener. I'm just showing you because, you know, some people like things in a little different way than others. I don't know if my milk will come out. It's frozen. I have to squeeze it out. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Alright, so I like a little... I don't always use milk, but sometimes. Shake that up. Okay. I'm good to go now. This is one of my favorite songs, Fever, Garth Brooks. Tonight. Yeah, I am absolutely loving it today. And having this Sirius XM, I mean, I'm not sponsoring them or anything. I'm just doing what I like and showing it to you. But I really have liked having that here because you're out in the middle of nowhere, you're cooking, you're doing stuff. You got some tunes on that you really like. I mean, it doesn't get a whole lot better than that, man. It's steam coming out of here. Fresh, hot Postum. Oh, it's so good. Man, I love it. You know, it's funny, when I make the Postum and I use sugar, it's a sweeter drink. I don't know why I don't use as much honey to sweeten it as much. I use 1 spoon of honey, 2 spoons of sugar, I don't know. But, you know, sometimes it's fun. Sometimes I make it with no sweetener at all. I just want it black, you know. Maybe I'm in a dark mood. I don't know. But other times it's like, I just want it sweeter, you know. That's what's cool. You just make it however you want. But all right, so this bag right here is a bag that we used to make for firebox. And they source them somewhere else now. We just got too busy with what we were doing. But Anyway, that's the fry pan bag from Firebox. And it works really nice as a flour sack. So down inside of here, I got a sack of flour and I just kind of fold the top of the bag over a little. Well, I discovered that I forgot to bring my sourdough bread. I had I don't know, half a loaf or something I was going to bring. And I forgot it. You know, what the heck. Anyway, so I thought, what am I going to have for breakfast? Well, I guess I'll have pancakes. So, let's mix up some pancakes, Perry style here. Alright, so I need about a cup of flour. That's got to be about a cup right there, I think. So now, see, I just fold that bag back down and I jerk that thing shut. So there's my flour. Now for a cup of flour you typically need about a teaspoon of baking powder, okay? This double acting baking powder. And then I need a little bit of salt. Ooh, that's too much. I don't need that much. Holy cow. Throw that over my shoulder. Don't remember which shoulder I'm supposed to throw it over, so I'll do it over both. There. That's good. Now actually, if I want my pancakes to brown a little more, I might throw a little bit of sugar in there too. A little sugar helps them to brown. Okay, so I got salt, sugar, flour, baking powder. It's so easy just to make your own, you know. So I just like to carry a bag of flour because I can make tortillas or biscuits or anything I want just with having some raw material. That's a good radio channel, man. Alright, so now I need to add a little water. Ideally, it's good to add just the right amount first go round. Because the more you stir this stuff, the less it puffs up. And I need some more. Yeah. I kind of, well, it'll be all right. It's okay if it's a little lumpy. Okay. Kind of mash it up a little bit, okay? So that's about right. That'll work just fine. Now what I'm going to do, since it's so cold out here, well, I don't know, I'm going to put it in the water, okay? I'm going to set that on here where this is nice and warm. Well, I just realized I forgot to put egg in my pancake mix. That's alright, they'll still taste fine. The egg just kind of helps hold together a little better, but it's not going to hurt anything. That egg is frozen. I have to thaw it out. Well, I just had another accident. Not only didn't I put eggs in my pancake mix, I also forgot to cook bacon. I got bacon. Set 'em up, Joe, and walking the floor. Set 'em up, Joe. Set 'em up, Joe, and walking the floor. Oh yeah. Just jamming to this music. I'm not a good singer. I don't even know it that good, but I kind of mouth the words a little bit. Well, I got some dirty eggs this morning. Lots of pepper. A little bit of charcoal from some stuff that popped in here out of the fire. There we go, dirty eggs. That's what we call eating right there. I decided that regardless, dang, I can get a hold of it here. Right, I'm going to do up some bacon, what the heck. So one of the reasons I decided to cook some bacon is when I threw these pans on the fire to warm them up, I got sidetracked and this one got left on a little too long. There's one spot like right here that actually burned off the seasoning. So, at least part of it. So it made it sticky. So now if I can cook some bacon in here and then take my scraper and just scrape all the burn off, scrape it right down and then leave a film of that bacon grease in here, I think my pancakes will cook fine. If they'll still cook, it's been so long now. Alright. Let's see if these pancakes even work, man. I think this stuff's been sitting here a half hour now. But we'll see if it'll rise or what. First pancake, a little smaller, and let's just see what happens. Now that's bubbling up. I think we'll be alright. Then this other stuff, see, I got this thing of water. It's just, the flame is barely even on. But I already brought it to a boil, so this makes a hot plate here. And this whole thing, I can feel the heat coming off of there. So, I think we're going to be fine. That'll keep me warm. One of the things you got to consider in winter cooking when it's cold weather is stuff cools off so fast. It really can change up how you cook. You know, I've had stuff where stuff started to freeze over before I get it in the pan, you know. So, doing this, I don't need to have all this water. I need a quart of it maybe, but I'm just using it for this purpose and whatever else, to clean up, do dishes. Whatever I don't use, I can just dump back in my water cooler. Alright, so it looks like it's coming along okay. Now the question's going to be, can I turn it without it sticking? Oh, there we go. There we go. I know it looks dirty because of that bacon grease and stuff. Kind of charcoal-y, but it'll be good. You know, when you're eating bacon in the wintertime, I took a series of survival classes in the 1980s. And the one thing we learned was, in the wintertime in the cold weather, your body just craves fat. So you get 9 calories, right, out of a gram of fat. It's very potent for giving you calories. Normally, maybe you're dieting, you don't want the calories, but when it's cold, your body wants to burn the calories for heat. And a lot of the early polar explorers, North Pole, South Pole, some of those guys learned the value of some fatty meat to go in their diet to help them cope with cold weather. So you want to eat it. Your body will just take it and burn it right up when it's cold weather. All right, first pancake off was good. There's another one. Yeah, look how quick that's bubbling up. You know, cooking outside is pretty easy, really. You know, some basic things like, see, with pancake, with just plain old flour. It's not self-rising flour, just plain flour. Some baking powder, some salt. You know, I can make a lot of different things. You know, I can make, in fact, when I get back, I'm gonna do a couple fun things when I get back from my hike. But I can make tortillas, I can make biscuits, I can make rolls, I can make big buns, I can make bread, I can make pancakes, you know, all kind of things. I can make dumplings, whatever, just with some basic ingredients. We can see, even with kind of messing up today, this thing is cooking up just fine. So, not a problem. DJ voice comes on and says he's back in town tonight for one last show. I'll tell you, the Garth channel is one of my favorite channels on Sirius XM. There's so much good music on here. And I love it out here. I'm out here in my kitchen. I'm out here in my kitchen. I got some good tunes on. Campfire going. Sun peeking through the clouds here and there. Cooking pancakes, eggs, and bacon. I don't know, man. I mean, if I did nothing else today, I'd be happy. Honestly. Well, there's a pretty pancake right there. Look at that. We're rocking and rolling, man. It's gonna be lovely. Well, I'm sitting here this morning in my breakfast nook. Out here. Dang, I love it. I wish I could curse. So it's one of those things, you know, like the only word I can think of is some curse words or something, but I don't do that anymore. But I try not to. I have got a few video clips of doing some stuff in the last number of years where I did slip up, and I edited it out, but it's on the raw stuff. Anyway, you know, some years I try to imagine how much I love it out here, and got my tunes on, my campfire, my food cooking. A number of years ago, I read an article by Russell Brand, and I don't really know much about him at all, but apparently he was addicted to heroin once. His article was about how addicting heroin is, and he described it so eloquently. It was just, I had to go talk to a friend of mine that worked with people that have addiction problems. I was telling him the article, and he's like, yeah, it's bad. Well, you know, I feel like I try to explain to people, you know, I'm out here solo, which if somebody's here with me, I'd be perfectly happy. No problem. People always tell me, I'm going to go camping with you. They never do. Tell them I go every weekend. Just tell me you're coming and we're in, you know, but most people don't. I must not be good company, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, I don't care. I am perfectly happy out here by myself, enjoying all this. And I often try to figure out how to tell people how I like this so much. And it occurred to me this morning, Russell Brand's story about heroin. I think I'm darn near addicted to the outdoors like he was addicted to heroin. I don't think I can get off of it. I just love it, man. I don't know what there is. I can't name one thing in particular. It's just being here, man. It's just solo off overlanding. Or that's the new word, overlanding. It's just, when I was growing up, it's just camping. Drive the old pickup, dad's pickup or whatever, and you just camp somewhere, you know. But now it's overlanding. Anyway, but I love it. That's my 2 bits. All right. So I got dirty eggs, bacon, and scratch pancakes out here. And then my favorite, if I haven't made my own syrup like from wild berries like we do in the fall, log cabin, I like that. No fructose corn syrup. That's the good stuff to have. I've had to, it was pretty thick earlier. I had to set out here and let it warm up a little bit. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. There we go. Time to eat now. Breakfast time. I've kept the bacon and eggs warm by sitting on the lid of the pan with the boiling water. Dirty eggs, man. Awesome. Yep, pretty darn good. Man, for having no... Whoa! My pancakes are about to kick my butt. Tell you what, for having no eggs in them, they're pretty tough. I mean, not tough, they just don't. A lot of times if you don't have eggs in them, your pancakes will fall apart. They're not falling apart at all. We've got some bacon. That timed out perfect with the end of that song. I didn't even plan it. There's no real trail to it. I just you know, but